For which values of x is f of x greater than 0? So f of x is this function right here. So we want f of x greater than 0. This means that f of x is above the x-axis. This also means that f of x is positive, right? So where do we have positive y values? Where is f of x above the x-axis? F of x is above the x-axis right here, this part, and this part here. This orange part and this orange part here is above the x-axis. So x-axis is right here. So f of x is above the x-axis, this part here, the orange part, and it's positive, meaning that we have positive y values, or positive y values are above the x-axis. So if we're writing, when we express our answer, we will say it is when x is less than 2, which is on this side, x is less than 2, or when x is greater than 6. Now we want where f of x is less than 0, meaning that f of x is below the x-axis, which also means that f of x is negative. So this is where we have negative y values. Now our negative y values are here below the x-axis, between the x value of 2 and the x value of 6. So when we express our answer, we will say x is greater than 2, but x is less than 6. Okay, here we have a cubic function with x-intercept of -4, 3, and 6. So the first one we want is where f of x is greater than 0. So f of x is greater than 0, which means that it is above the x-axis, this part here, as well as this part here. So the part that is highlighted in orange, it is where our graph is actually a positive, where we have positive y values. So that happens when x is greater than 6, because the graph will go all the way up on this side. So that happens when x is greater than 6, or when x is between the x value of -4 and 3, or when x is greater than -4 but less than 3. So now we want where f of x is less than 0, meaning that f of x is below the x-axis. So f of x is below the x-axis right here, and as well as over here, the part highlighted in yellow. So when we express our answer, it is when x is less than -4, which is all the way this side, or when x is between 3 and 6. So when x is greater than 3 but less than 6. Okay, now let's look at this function. We have a hyperbola, and we want where f of x is greater than 0. So you're looking for where the graph is above the x-axis. Now if we look at this, the graph is above the x-axis over here, this part here, as well as this part here. So when we express our answer, so for this part here, we will say that it is when x is greater than 3. And then for this part here, we would actually need the vertical asymptote. Let's say the vertical asymptote here, let's say it is 1. So this will be when x is less than 1. That is where we will have our graph being above the x-axis. So this is our answer for that. Now let's look for where f of x is less than 0, which means that we are looking for negative y values, or where the graph is below the x-axis. Now the graph is below the x-axis right here, only at this point here, which we have highlighted in yellow. And earlier we said that this, let's make this an x value of 1. Our vertical asymptote is x is equal to 1. So now where is our graph below the x-axis? This will be when x is greater than 1 but less than 3.